followed up with the owner, and someone drove their car into one of his buildings, and I sent them over a masonry contractor to help him with that.
Sterling, what's the number one secret to finding off-market multifamily properties?
I'd say the greatest secret is the follow-up, and the follow-up is the creative follow-up, and that's allowed me to be able to buy a 46 unit, 50 unit, to 80 units and 156 unit, actually all going direct to the owner. And it was through the follow-up, and it wasn't just simply picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, Brett, now are you interested in selling your property?" "No, I'm not interested in the property." A week later or 2 months later, "Now you're interested in selling your property." No, it's using ways staying in touch, such as sending Rubik's cubes, or you can send a bottle of Tylenol that says, "Hey, looking to get this headache, this headache off your hands," with the Rubik's cube. Hey, with a small note, "Hey, let's figure this out." Or sending them contract. As an example, I followed up with the owner, and someone drove their car into one of his buildings, and I sent them over a masonry contractor to help him with that. So it's just going above and beyond with the creative follow-up.
I love that. I love those little analogies. In fact, speaking of that, we've got a Rubik's Cube right here, and oftentimes, Sterling, what we talk about is we're not in the business of, helping people buy multifamily properties or seller deals, or in the business of selling tax deferral. We're just in the business of solving problems. Exactly. To the extent we can do that, we can help people get from A being maybe disheveled and colors on different sides if you're listening to this, and then the other Rubik's Cube being fully congruent and colors on all sides. And so talk to me, Sterling, what's your number one secret from helping people go from A to B to solve their problems?
So as an investor, it's identifying and investing in or you're saying more on the owner side. So as an owner is figuring out, okay, what is their motivation? Meaning is, do they just want to get out of the business? So that's one. Or is if they, right now they're not ready to sell, but they their parking lot needs some upgrades to it. So it's helping them, one, to solve that problem. And then that'll lead to, okay, well, I no longer want to own this property. I actually want out of it because this is just quite more of an undertaking than I thought it would be. So that is what it is solving those little problems. And then they'll realize, okay, this is a bigger problem, and I no longer want to deal with it.
So I'm hearing you right. You're building this trust and this rapport with them by helping them solve these little problems along the way. And then perhaps they say, "You know what, Sterling, you've earned that trust. And now perhaps you can help me solve my bigger problem, which is exiting." Is that a fair summary?
Correct.
I like that masonry one. You said, hey, you sent over somebody to help them fix their thing, right? Was that just like you knew he was going to be there on a Saturday at 2 and you're like, "Hey, dude, just show up," and you showed up with them? Or walk us through how that all went down.
So this was a guy, he's in Chicago and he owns a property in Indianapolis and a market just outside of that. And he told me about someone driving into one of his buildings, and I knew it was brick because I had visited the property. And when I first got started in construction, my friend's dad's construction company, he was a masonry. So I already had that in the back of my Rolodex. And he said that, yeah, if you happen to have a masonry on hand that would be willing to work on this project, send them my way. And I said, I know the perfect guy. And then there we go. And he actually ended up using them.
Beautiful. So you used them and then solved this problem. You helped them out. Did that eventually lead to the ability for you to purchase the property? Or you're still working on that one?
Still working on it. It's going on 3.5, 4 years. So that's the other thing, is patience.
Number two secret is patience. So talk about what helps you to have patience.
Gosh, and I really want to hit the patience home, especially the age that we're in, that most would say we're in the microwave age, where you've got the social media, where everyone believes everything happens overnight. A syndicator or someone posts a deal, they don't realize that, hey, it took all of this amount of sweat, sacrifice, and time and patience to get up to this. So that's one thing I want to indicate, is that the setting the expectation that these things do take time. And if you have the patience, that allow you to separate yourself from others who may be trying to take shortcuts, which could end up costing them in the long run.
Okay, got it.